Good evening, residents of Merchantville and our neighbors and friends of the community. I'm reaching out to touch base this evening on COVID-19 as it pertains to the borough of Merchantville. I have some very sad news to announce this evening. The borough has experienced its first death as a result of COVID-19. Our thoughts and prayers are with that individual's family and friends during this very difficult time. We want to remember the human sacrifice and element associated with this. And I understand the frustration of having to be home, not being able to do the things and be social like you used to. But the reality is the reason why we're doing this, the reason why we're staying home, the reason why we're socially distant is so that we can not have many of these nights where I have to get on a camera and announce that somebody's died as a result of COVID-19. And I have to say that the residents of Merchantville and Greater Camden County have done a very good job. That doesn't stop this virus from hurting many, but we have done our part and we continue to do our part to flatten the curve. And for that, I'm very appreciative of all of your efforts. But we're not done. This virus is still here, and we are still having a lot of reports of positive tests and people getting sick and being admitted to the hospital. So it's important, even when it's nice out and even when we think that we're past this disease, that we continue to practice social distancing and stay home as the governor has ordered us to do. A couple other reports and updates. One, in our efforts to continue social distancing, but also recognizing that it's important that people have to get out of the house. We have reopened the parks, but I do want to make a couple points about the reopening of the parks. First, it is recommended, although not mandated, that you wear a face covering. It will help to continue to reduce the spread of COVID-19, and it is a best practice. Next, a couple of things with regard to these openings. One, it's for passive recreation, largely. That means that the facilities at the community center, the playground equipment at Wellwood are all still closed. The basketball courts are closed. The baseball fields are closed. The bocce court is closed. And all playground equipment, even along the multi-use path, is closed. This is for your safety. And we hope that in the very near future, we're going to be able to reopen those things. But as of right now, those are closed. The parks themselves are open. Please feel free to go and use the parks, use the multi-use path. But the equipment and the fields are closed, and I want to remind you of that. Let's please continue to adhere to these closures so that we don't have to utilize our resources in enforcing this in an unnecessary manner. Further, with regard to essential businesses that are open in town, I want to remind those businesses and our residents that it is required, it is ordered by the governor that you wear a face covering when you enter those businesses, and that the workers are also wearing face coverings when they are working within those businesses. There's no wiggle room here. You have to do it. It is part of the governor's executive order for all of those businesses and any residents who frequent those businesses. I want to remind you all of that. By and large, we've done a very good job, but I want to make sure that people are adhering to these things, because the moment that we become lax, while this disease is still very dangerous, we could see spikes, and we are trying everything in our power to avoid that. Again, I know it's frustrating, but that is why we are doing what we're doing. Finally, the schools, as you all know, have been closed for in-person instruction for the remainder of the school year. We are continuing to monitor the situation with regard to our Parks and Rec program and seeking guidance from the state. We have yet to receive any. And as more information becomes available, we certainly will let you know. I thank you all for all that you're doing to be socially distant, to stay home. And I know it's frustrating, but thank you very much for that. One last thing, Camden County, the Rite Aid in Barrington, starting tomorrow, will be testing anybody over the age of 18, regardless of symptoms for COVID-19. You have to go online and set up an appointment, but you can be tested if you want to be tested. It is one of the only testing sites within our county that will take you regardless of symptoms. So if you are interested, please go to Rite Aid online and sign up to get an appointment. Thanks. That's all for my update today. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.